freue mich, dass zum ersten Mal hier
Irma, great to have you here. Thanks for taking the time to come.
Dass du dir die Zeit genommen hast.
I'm going to ask you 5 short questions and you give short answers. Freiburg, Leverkusen, Dortmund.
That's my career stages in professional football. I grew up in Freiburg and played the first matches in the Bundesliga. In Leverkusen I played for 6 years and it was a successful time for the team and for me personally. And now I'm happy to be here in Dortmund.
German under-19 champion 2008, German champion in the Bundesliga?
Hopefully. Well, it worked out in the youth team. BVB showed what they're capable of during the last years. My contract lasts for 4 years and I hope we'll win the championship during that period.
Your greatest moment as a professional player?
Greatest moment definitely was my comeback after my go-kart accident.
Yes, that was hard, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Your strongest opponent?
Drogba was a really difficult opponent. It was pretty hard to overcome him, almost impossible. Now, of course, it's been Lewandowski and Ober in the Bundesliga.
Yes, they're really good. Last question, the most important thing for a central defender?
The most important thing, being a tough tackling player with a certain tranquility, being focused for 90 minutes.
Wide shoulders, strong upper arms. Ömer Toprak is an impressive guy. Sometimes his opponents get an impression of his physical presence. But full contact is more the exception than the rule. The 28-year-old player prefers to solve difficult situations with a clear overview. He's a modern central defender, able to handle the ball perfectly. 182 ball contacts against Gladbach. This is the seasonal top value so far. Furthermore, he shows a good offensive approach. But what is most important, the new player helped to stabilize BVB's defense. A real enhancement for Borussia Dortmund. Not only when it comes to muscle power.
Well, we've seen your great upper arms, could have been a thigh as well. Are you working hard on that?
Zu viel dafür?
Ehrlich gesagt, ja. Also,
To be honest, yes, I do. In the beginning of my career, I weighed 70 kilos. As a central defender, you need a certain mass, so I worked for it.
die musste ich mir dann halt antrainieren.
And now you weigh 72 kilos.
Close.
A little more doesn't matter.
Der Beitrag hat aber auch gezeigt, dass du...
In the video we saw that you're an important part of the passing game and structure in the BVB team.
Hier bei uns beim BVB, war das in Leverkusen?
Was it the same in Leverkusen?
Oder hat das hier zugenommen?
Es hat definitiv zugenommen. Ich meine,
It definitely became more here in Dortmund.
ganz anderen Fußball gespielt.
In Leverkusen, we had a completely different system in the last 3 years, where ball possession wasn't as important as winning the ball.
Aber ich habe es so in Freiburg gelernt, dass man wirklich auch.
But in Freiburg, I learned to be part of the passing game, even as a defender, and I like the system we're playing here. You have many ball contacts, and you're always part of the game.
Man hat oft den Ball, man kann. Ja, man ist einfach immer im Spiel.
Jetzt kommen wir zu einer Rubrik, die heißt Sag.
Now it's time for Tell Me. A friend of yours is going to ask you a question and I'm looking forward to the answer. Let's see.
Mal sehen, was du darauf antwortest.
Hallo Ömer, ich habe eine Frage an dich.
Hi Ömer, I have a question for you. Is it true that you wanted to attract attention in Dubai and you therefore rented a service bus?
First of all, Irma, who was it?
Wer war das?
Das ist mein Cousin.
That's my cousin. I used to play with him in Freiburg.
Also, wir kennen uns seit.
Raman Soyudoko.
Genau. Genau, ja, wir sind
Exactly. We shared a room in the boarding school in Freiburg, and we've known each other since we were 3 or 4. We've always been together and got kind of separated by
eigentlich
football.
immer zusammen gewesen. Klar, dadurch, das Fußball hat uns halt getrennt. Ja, in Dubai waren wir.
In Dubai, we were on holiday together. We had organised the shuttle,
organisiert gehabt. Das hat leider nicht funktioniert.
but it didn't work out. And then someone asked if we needed a taxi, and we did. And then he came with that service bus.
Haben wir dann eins gebraucht. Und dann stand auf einmal ein Linienbus vor uns.
Really?
Really? And it was completely empty. It was just the 4 of us. And he brought us to the hotel.
No way.
Yeah, everyone came to the hotel by taxi.
Dann alle vor das Hotel gefahren mit Taxi und
And you know they all have nice cars. And then we got there by bus.
sind dann mit dem Linienbus gekommen.
Great story. Rahman and you played together in Freiburg and you were really successful.
Genau, wir sind gemeinsam.
Right, we became German champion and even European champion together. Unfortunately, he got injured several times.
Sind zurückgeworfen.
Wir machen jetzt.
Now let's take a nice picture. Irma, don't look that friendly.
Sieht
I
man
can't see myself.
But I can see you.
There. And now?
We'll see. Irma, thanks a lot.
Thanks to you.
Please stay fit. Great to have you in the team.
Thanks.
And everyone at home, please cross your fingers. See you soon. Bye-bye from Nobby and Irma.
Ciao, ciao.
A new season means new players, and I'm meeting one of them today, Maximilian Philipp.
Maximilian Philipp. Mensch, Milli.
Hey, Millie, I see you've already found one of the best places to be in Dortmund, the Südtribüne.
Die Südtribüne. Toll, oder?
Weltklasse hier, also der Ausblick ist
World class here. The view is superb and it's even more breathtaking during the game.
unser atemberaubender.
This is where the most loyal fans stand.
Aber Dortmund hat noch viel mehr zu bieten. Und ich möchte
Dortmund does, of course, have much more to offer, and I'd like to give you a little overview of what Dortmund has to offer. Up for it?
Komm mit. Hast du Lust?
Sure.
Come on then.
Ich hatte dir ja versprochen, dass ich dir einen Überblick.
I promised you an overview of the city, and that is what we're going to do now. On top of the 142-metre high TV tower in the Westfalenpark. It is certainly a landmark in Dortmund, alongside the Signal Iduna Park. Let's go.
Can't wait.
We've done a circuit now. What do you think of the view?
Ja, ist schon wunderschön hier, muss man schon sagen.
It is beautiful. I really like it up here, especially this view to what is the greatest landmark in Dortmund, in my opinion. I really like it.
Ansicht nach. Also schon gefällt mir sehr.
Außerdem vielen Fußball.
Apart from all the football, you do a lot of sport in your free time. That seems to be your favourite hobby. So we're now going to a very special place.
Mal für dich an einen ganz besonderen Ort.
And your grandma cried when you told her you were joining Dortmund. You'll have to explain that.
Ja, sie war halt so unendlich stolz, weil sie auch gesagt hat, wir hatten es einfach nicht.
She was just incredibly proud because she said we'd never had it easy and she never dreamed I would make it so far and sign for such a big club. She always supported me, but of course it's difficult to imagine, even for me, to be able to play here. It was unrealistic at first and now it's happened.
Und jetzt ist es einfach so weit und
We're delighted to have you.
And I'm delighted to be here.
We're here at the Volksbad Lido, and as an exception to the rule, it is actually raining in Dortmund today. Normally we only have nice weather, I'm sure you know that. The swimming pool recently celebrated its 90th birthday, and with a view like that towards the stadium, it must be the nicest swimming pool in the world. You said you like swimming. Do you prefer doing lengths or a cannonball from the 10-meter board?
Also ich schwimme am Anfang immer meistens ein paar Bahnen.
I always swim a few lengths first to get going and then...
Cannonball.
Yeah, I do jump off the diving board.
From the 10-meter one? Be honest.
I'm not scared, but I don't do it. I did it once, but I have to say, it wasn't really for me. It's a bit dangerous.
Ist mir zu gefährlich eigentlich.
Oops, there's a backgammon board.
How did that get there?
You don't happen to play backgammon, do you?
I do, as a matter of fact.
Do you prefer the urban jungle or the countryside?
Urban jungle.
Lieber.
Black and yellow or the Black Forest?
Black and yellow.
I'm about to finish him off. Early riser or late sleeper?
Late sleeper.
On a day off, shopping tour with Ober or chilling out on the sofa?
Chilling out on the sofa.
Do you and Ober have the same taste?
Not really. I think his style is really cool, but it wouldn't suit me.
Last question. Why Millie and not Maxi?
Ja, meiner Mutter hat der Name Millie gefallen, sie fand ihn süß.
My mum liked the name Millie. She thought it was cute, which it is for a baby. It's a bit different when you get older. But she thought Maxi or Max was the common nickname for Maximilian, and that would be boring.
Typische Spitzname für Maximilian. Das war ihr dann ein bisschen zu langweilig.
Coming back to your hobbies, which sports do you enjoy doing apart from swimming?
Ich spiele gern Billard.
I like playing pool. I've got a table at home.
Eigenen Billardtisch.
Well, we've got one at the training centre too, and you take everyone to the cleaners.
Not yet. I still need to practice. The others are quite good. Otherwise, I like inline skating.
Ja, sonst gehe ich gerne Inliner fahren.
Isn't that too dangerous?
Nein, Quatsch. Hab ja schöne Schoner.
No, I've got my pads on for safety, and I'm not too bad at table tennis.
Bin ich auch kein schlechter. Sonst im Sommer
I think Marco is the best at that here.
Ja?
I think he's really good at it.
Well, I'll have to take him on.
I'd like to see that. You're the winner. Congratulations. The reigning Black Forest champion has killed me off. What are your hopes and dreams for the future at Borussia Dortmund?
Ja, natürlich, dass ich mich...
Obviously, that I keep developing on a personal level, that I find lots of new friends, and that I have lots of fun. I signed a long-term contract, and I hope I can fulfill expectations, and that I can entertain the fans and enjoy every minute in the stadium.
Viel Freude den Leuten bereiten kann und dass sie Spaß daran haben, wenn wir im Stadion sind.
I'll be up for winning a few trophies with you too.
Me too. Count me in.
To drive through town in that open-top bus wouldn't be bad.
I've seen the pictures. That's incredible.
We'll do it. That's a promise. Millie, thanks very much. The Signal Iduna Park, the sporting home of Borussia Dortmund. Not just any other stadium. It has already received many awards. Best stadium, best standing terrace, best atmosphere, best fans. And now in addition, best pitch. Next week, BVB will be awarded the Pitch of the Year award for 2016-17. Willi Droste, groundsman at Borussia Dortmund. In January, he celebrated his 20th anniversary working at the club. He knows what matters. But the care and maintenance of the grass has not been a one-man show for a long time. An 18-strong team is now responsible for looking after the pitches at Borussia.
The grass has to be good, the ball needs to run, the grass has to be as quick as possible. Nowadays, the players demand that. It's watered so that it plays more quickly. We have a very good footballing team here in Dortmund, and of course then it's clear that we try to help get as much as we can out of the team.
105 metres long, 65 metres wide. The blades of grass are exactly 2.7 centimetres high. A numbers game, but it is even more complicated, because grass is not just grass. A year ago in Dortmund, a decision was made to make a major change.
The special thing about this grass is of course the hybrid, the 16% synthetic fibres, which are anchored 18 centimetres deep in the ground and rise 2.7 centimetres above it. That makes the grass more stable, which means it becomes stronger in the ground, or as we say in football, divots don't fly about so much.
But just keeping the grass cut is not enough nowadays. A perfect track requires extra care. For example, these oversized ventilators. They dry the grass significantly more quickly, preventing possible diseases from spreading. In addition, artificial light. A form of solarium for grass for a better well-being. When the sun goes down on the Signal Iduna Park, the pitch remains bathed in gold and yellow light.
Of course, that originated in the greenhouses, the tomato growers. That's where it all started. And in the meantime, this light gets used all over the world. I call it growing light. That means with this light I can replace the sun, and the grass thanks you for that. The quality returns. We can keep the quality at a high level.
Warm in the south, cold in the north. Grass care has long become a science in itself, and technology is becoming an ever bigger part of the daily work. And that is not just the case for grass. Another subject, marking lines. In days gone by, a shaky arm and sweaty hand would attempt to keep the chalk machine in a straight line. Today, the laser takes care of that. The machine is guided to the exact millimetre while spraying its line. Cutting, marking lines, putting up goals and flags. In just under 5 hours, the BVB pitch team deliver perfect conditions on match day. Amongst football fans, the saying goes, you have to experience the Signal Iduna Park, the South Terrace, the fans, the atmosphere. And amongst the players, the saying now would seem to be, you have to experience the Dortmund pitch at least once in your career. In its 4th year, the Pitch of the Year award goes to BVB for the first time. The deserved reward for all the hard and loving work put in by the men in Schwarz-Gelb.
international break is done and dusted, and we return to the top flight of German football as match day 8 gets underway in the Bundesliga. Dortmund will try and keep their unbeaten run at home intact, but it's Leipzig in town, which could prove to be their toughest test of the season so far. Dortmund off to a ferocious start though. Just 4 minutes in, they would see themselves be gifted their first opportunity. Ilsanker, the Austrian, with a horrendous mistake. Aubameyang, the last man you want to be one-on-one with the keeper. And what a finish from the Dortmund talisman, who takes his tally for the season up to 9 and gets Peter Bosz off to the perfect start in front of a home crowd. Damage done by Ilsanker. Still work to do for Aubameyang, and he slots it into that far bottom right corner in style. Just 4 minutes later, and Leipzig would have their first chance. Another bit of sloppy defending would open things up, but a good save by Roman Bürki was wrong-footed on his way to his left and did just enough to stick out that right boot and make the stop. 2 minutes later, Leipzig on the front foot again. This time the header back across the face of goal, and Sabitzer, the Austrian, getting there just ahead of Roman Bürki to nod the ball over the line and into the back of the net. Questions of whether or not he was offside, but Jeremy Toljan just keeping the Austrian on, and just like that, things now level. 3 minutes later, another chance for Aubameyang. Cuts it back onto his right foot, but then can't find the finish to match. A really good bit of build-up play. Lovely pass by Yarmolenko to pick out Aubameyang, who is just inches away from scoring his and Dortmund's second of the game. 20 minutes on the clock in what was a very entertaining game. A lovely little let down for Nuri Sahin, who took it on the half volley. Catching it with the outside of his left boot though, was always going to be moving away from goal. 25 minutes gone, and Leipzig on the attack. Lovely run down the left flank, keeps it going and then picks out Poulsen in the middle. And against the run of play, Leipzig shock the entire Signal Iduna Park and go 2-1 up. Questions over some of the defending, but Bruma with a lovely run keeps the ball in play, then through the legs of Bürki, and Poulsen just ahead of Socrates to tap it in and give Leipzig the lead. 4 minutes before the break, Dortmund would have one more opportunity. It would fall to Yarmolenko, then Götze with a shot blocked as well. Dortmund definitely doing everything to get back into this game, but Leipzig defending their hearts out. Half-time score, the visitors lead 2-1 going into the second, and right after the start of the second half there would be a penalty for Leipzig. Whether or not it should have been one though, well, the replay would show it was a soft call, and as a result Socrates would pick up a red card, but for minimal contact, and a very theatrical going to the ground from Frenchman Augustin, who would slot it away and put the game out of Dortmund's reach, you would fear, because they were now 3-1 up. Then things getting a little edgy as the game would continue. Ilsanker picking up 2 yellow cards in quick succession, which would then see the Austrian be sent to the changing rooms as well. Now Leipzig and Dortmund both down to 10 men, and hopes kept alive for Peter Bosz's side. Could Dortmund capitalise on the opportunity that was handed to them? Well, the answer would be yes. However, it would be with the help of the video referee. A moment that would normally be forgotten was highlighted by the referee on the day. He would go to the official upstairs and eventually point to the spot. Up would step Aubameyang, and he would slot it home to score his second, Dortmund's second, Aubameyang's 10th of the season, as he takes his tally into double figures. And just like that, the boys in black and yellow were right back in this tie. 15 minutes left, and Dortmund were piling forward with wave after wave of attack. Ball in from Pulisic, then Yarmolenko, keeping the move alive. Runs into a bit of trouble, but then it falls for Castro, who got plenty of pace on the effort, just couldn't find the direction, and it was straight down the middle. Castro then with a free kick just moments later, again linking up with Yarmolenko, his header down the middle as well, and Gulácsi with another easy stop in the end. Then into stoppage time, and one more chance would be on the cards for Dortmund, but they couldn't take it. It would be a double chance. Aubameyang on the verge of scoring a hat-trick, his effort stopped by Gulácsi. It would then come to Yarmolenko with an empty net, but he couldn't guide it past the Leipzig keeper. Final score would be Leipzig 3, Dortmund 2. Their 2.5-year unbeaten run at home would come to an end, although they certainly put more than their heart and soul into another 90 minutes. Next up, it's the Champions League in midweek.